Hey, it's Molly, and welcome back to my YouTube channel as we're going to talk about the Leo full moon happening on February 16th, 2022 at 11:55 a.m. That is Eastern Time, so please adjust for your location on the planet. Now, this is a very dynamic full moon, so let's take a look at it here and break down some of these components. And we'll begin with the moon in Leo at basically 28 degrees, because you see it says 27 degrees 59 minutes and literally moves to 28 degrees very soon after its exact opposition to the sun at 27 degrees of Aquarius 59 minutes. So right away, as with every full moon, there's an opposition, and you want to identify where you have that 27, 28 degrees of Leo in your chart, as this is where the moon is illuminating something within you at a heart level, at a sense of ownership. This connects to your solar plexus, what you want, what you need. There is this Leo fire energy here about what is really within you right now that you're looking to create, that you're looking to demonstrate or to share in a way that feels empowering and strong. This is a very intense Leo full moon, as it not only opposes the sun in Aquarius, and the sun is the ruler of Leo, and the sun in Aquarius connects us to the collective energy fields, what's happening around us in the world at large, the various vibrations and energies that we are picking up and connecting to, as well as that Aquarius, very avant-garde energy of where we're going next and what is opening up. And there could be energies here that you've been feeling that are opening up within you, and they're landing in your heart. And that's also a Leo energy of what you receive and what feels good to you about love, about your sense of self, about who you are in the world at large. So this opposition, this full moon energy, is always about looking at what is within you that maybe you have forgotten, that you've stepped away from. And this is a full moon that activates this part of yourself to really see it, to bring in more light that showcases what you need. And part of the Leo journey is about courage to be yourself, taking a risk. This would be a full moon about risk taking, doing something new and different because it's calling to you or it's speaking to you at a heart level. And there could even be this internal dialogue between your heart and your head. And that would be the Aquarius mental process of looking at all the components and going down many rabbit holes about how this would work. What about that? How about this? And getting lost in the mind. But this energy is bringing you back into your heart, what you want, where you're ready to take a risk because the energy is rising up. And it's something that you're feeling very strongly. And the other thing that's very strong here in this chart with both the sun and the moon is that they are squaring now the nodes. So this is the north node at 27 degrees of Taurus. Here's the south node at the opposite point of 27 degrees of Scorpio. So this is a full moon opposing the nodes of fate, a transition point, looking at what stays and what goes, understanding where you're in alignment with what you want, and making sure that you're connecting to it from a heart space, even though the mind is very active, very intelligent, a planner here, very aware of many components. But this is an energy that is changing the course of events, direction, or something in your life, especially if you have strong fixed energy in Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus. This is a very big full moon for you. It's an activation. It is a catalyst of movement that is asking you to make some choices about where you're going next. And it's something that is calling to you at a heart level, that you value, that you want, that you're ready for. And there's switching gears. There's an energy of the gears are changing. A new direction could be opening up. Something could be more evident to you, speaking to you at this full moon that you can't deny. And that, again, there's a risk-taking element here. You're ready to go for something that's pulling you in this Taurus direction of your chart. And this would be another energy to look at in your chart so that you can be aware of what you're learning and growing now that the nodes have switched into Taurus and Scorpio. So a very strong energy here around alignment and looking at what changes you're ready to make in your life because there's time. Now, the other strong energy in play comes from this Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn that is trining the north node and sextiling the south node of letting go of the intensity, emotions, karma, healing, letting go of things you've been working on and you could maybe feel them ready to fall away. And it opens up energy in this direction of that north node. And then we have Pluto talking to the nodes of fate and bringing your attention to the energies of transformation, which of course is Pluto and Capricorn. But this is understanding that there's support for the next phase, the next energy that you're moving to. And yet this Pluto is in a quincunx here to what you want. So there could be a sense of, this is what I want, what I'm ready to risk, the courage needed for next steps. I'm even ready to make a decision around it. And then this Pluto is bringing our attention to the world at large. And you could be wondering, well, how's this all going to fit together? How is what I want going to fit into where the energies are shifting and changing in a very big way? So there's something here that this moon is so personal, but all these planets out here are about detachment, the bigger energy cycles in play, what's happening in the world at large, the perception of what you can do next, where you can go, what the choices are. So there can be this, it's almost like this internal discomfort. And yet it's pivotal because these nodes of fate are applying a pressure for change. Now, we do have Venus and Mars in conjunction here at 16 degrees of Capricorn, where they will stay for a good month as we move into March. They stay conjunct into almost the middle of March. And they already had an exact trine to Uranus, which was setting something free, release, change, surprise, momentum picking up, acceleration. Now, Venus and Mars are moving to have a sextile with Neptune at 21 Pisces. And that is an opening into a new potential, something that we're meant to keep moving through, because this Neptune is the imagination, the other realms, your intuition, your higher self, speaking to these two relationship planets. This can be very much about new connections with individuals, partners, people, friendships, and Neptune perhaps is delivering those, opening up more of these relationships of the same frequency. I also feel like this is supporting the intuitive development here of just trusting where your energy is needed to go next. in the world, okay? Because Capricorn is always about the world and how we show up and what we're doing in the world at large that matters, who we're working with or how we're working with others, but also how we're showing up internally between that Venus-Mars internal balance of going for what you want. Now, this Mars is stronger because he is exalted in Capricorn, and Venus is a little bit tired because she's been in Capricorn since November. And so there's support here for your feminine energy, if it's tired, to trust your masculine energy to take something forward, to move it ahead, and to also give yourself a break, which is part of this sextile to Neptune, where you can trust that you don't have to force everything. You don't have to make everything happen, but there could be a sense here of you're energized, especially in the Capricorn areas of your life and in your chart. So this is a full moon that's bringing much to our attention around our world, our energy in the world at large. We also now have this Mercury direct and still in shadow zone, as he will be until he reaches 10 degrees of Aquarius. And then we have Saturn in new territory here at 17 degrees of Aquarius. So there's things that are coming together that you're moving towards that are new and different and uncomfortable. It's forcing you to grow and evolve in a way that sometimes just takes us out of what we would prefer or what we would rather do. But this is a full moon that's really bringing your attention to your life direction and how much of your energy is in alignment with your heart, how much of it is connecting to what you want, what you don't want. That's another thing here, is that with this Leo full moon, you could understand what you don't want. You could have a real clear understanding of what's complete with that square to the South Node in Scorpio. There's also energy here of there's a tightness. There's a tightness here. Now, this is a grand cross. It's a fixed sign grand cross. And that means each of these energies stabilizes on its own and can resist change, can resist something that needs to change. And with the grand cross, there's a pressure building, even a stagnation. This could feel like you're paralyzed. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's in my heart. I don't know what to decide. And if that's the case, if that's what you're feeling, the energy then goes to Pluto, because of how Pluto is making that trine to the North Node, which is what's for your best and highest good in Taurus, whatever is simple, whatever is best for your heart, whatever is true for you and how you want to live your life. And then this Pluto also has that quincunx to the moon in Leo that is applying another pressure. So I'm feeling like there is the pressure of evolution that we're each feeling individually and collectively. And the universe is saying it's already in your heart. But if you're too caught up in this, in what's going on in the world, or if your energy is too outside of yourself, if it's too outside of your heart, that's where the struggle might be, because this is a message about something that you want. Something that would feel loving, creative, invigorating, inspiring. It's meant to lift you up. It's meant to bring you new life. And this is a fire sign. And we have Chiron in a fire sign as well. But this is the only fire sign amongst the earth, air, and water. So this is what's bringing you life, because fire brings us life. And it's energizing, it's inspiring, it's momentum. And this is a return to what is that for you, especially if you've been too much in your head or too much in your body, or too much in the other realms or your dreams. Like, this is, what are you making real in your life? Are you ready to take a risk on it? Are you ready to go for it? Because there can be a million reasons not to do something. I was just talking with my friend about this. there's so many things we can talk ourselves out of. We can say, no, don't do that, or maybe this doesn't matter, or who cares if I try, or whatever. But it's sort of like, then those are all the things you never do. And it's sort of like you can only trust yourself when you have that muscle developed and when you know that your heart is on your team. Like your heart supports you. And yeah, the Leo energy can be pride. It can be a lot of energy that wants attention. There's also the parts of ourselves that just want to express ourselves and put it out there and be who we are in the world. And I feel like this is where we're looking at what we have dimmed down in ourselves, our own fire, our own light, our own needs, and where we can talk ourselves out of something because we don't know the outcome. But that's life, right? That's risk taking. That's doing something. That's stepping into the unknown. And it feels like there's energy building and there's these openings because now all these planets are direct during this full moon. And that means it's time to go. It's time to go. And there's something here where you can hold yourself back and forget that your heart is on your team, or you can forget that, you've probably taken a million risks before in your life and you just didn't see it that way. And that, you've had life changes before, but this is going to feel different. And of course, it's going to be working with you the most if you have planets around 27 degrees of the fixed signs. And it could also be, all the ways, again, that we talk ourselves out of something, we overthink it. And we have had a very intense Mercury retrograde that took us into the depths of Pluto and that really had us analyzing and thinking it through and looking at our fears. And again, all the ways that, something could go wrong, or we might get hurt, or why try this, or maybe I'd be rejected or abandoned, or all those stories that we've had through lifetimes of experiences. But I feel like what the universe is saying is that there's also new openings with this North Node, and you're not who you were previously. You're different now. You're a different version of yourself. And if you are in alignment with your masculine and your feminine energies, and you feel this support, it's going to make it easier to take those next steps and to move it forward and to understand that this push is happening for a reason. And sometimes we push away when we have to be vulnerable or take a risk. And then the universe makes those messages louder and louder because it's saying, this is the direction you're meant to go, or this is where you're going to open up to more of your own evolution and growth. There's good things waiting for you here. And I feel like that is a strong message with this Pluto trining the North Node in Taurus, which is about simplicity. And that it doesn't have to be so complicated at times, even though the ego, Leo, can make it that way. This is, again, the heart energy of where do you need to go and get out of your own way. Get out of your head, get out of your mind about it, get out of the ego and move towards something new because of what is going to open up in you. I'm also seeing this energy through the yin-yang balance of feminine, masculine. The air signs and fire signs are masculine. Earth and water are feminine. And we are reaching this new alignment that is kind of a little awkward or uncomfortable. And then we have Mars and Venus traveling together, feminine and masculine, that are in alignment. So there's things we're kind of bringing in together that's requiring this new direction. Again, the choices that could feel awkward or uncomfortable because they might challenge something that you already know or that you thought you would hang on to. And this is a universal push that it's time to move forward. It's time to make some changes. It's time to do it in a different way. So this energy is working with all of us in the collective, but it is working with any of your planets or points in the fixed signs. So let's call it the last 5 degrees of the fixed signs, just to have a tighter orb. And that's where you're feeling the most pressure, and you're going to feel these energies the most intensely. Now, a few more things I want to call out about the bigger cycles of these energies is that this 27 degrees of Leo is where we had the Great American Eclipse in August 2017 that started in Portland, Oregon, and went across the US and ended in South Carolina. And you could look back and say, okay, well, how much has the city of Portland changed since August 2017? How much has South Carolina or that region changed since 2017? How much has the US shifted since that Great American Eclipse that activated each of us, especially at that heart level, and really brought more matters up? Like, it was an energizing, huge energy download of an eclipse, and that's being activated again here. So you could do that for yourself. What has changed for you in the Leo areas of your chart at 27 degrees of Leo, 28 degrees of Leo since August 2017? What has changed in your love life, or with your children, or in your creative spark, your expression, your self-expression, understanding who you are, what you want? Again, this is going to be different for each of us, but it's going to activate those Leo themes even more. And look at how far you've come since 2017. Now, the other things that are pivotal here in this chart is that, yes, we have the great Pluto return, which will be exact at 27 degrees 32 minutes, starting February 20th. Of course, the energy is already in play, but that's where it is quite significant. The energy is very big. I did some other videos for you on this topic. And again, this is where Pluto is trining that North Node, which is giving us a new direction, new growth, new lessons, new ways of evolving and moving forward, and really looking at what the Taurus grounding energies can bring in for us during this strong evolutionary push. And then the other energy here that I think is worth noting is that the sun at 27 degrees of Aquarius, nearly 28 degrees, is conjunct the USA's natal moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius. And in 1 year, during the Pluto return energies, in February 2023, Saturn is going to be at 27 degrees of Aquarius, conjunct the USA natal moon. So from now to the next year, very big changes globally, worldwide. There's always a ripple effect. This is not just about one country because of how we're all connected through various energies and various means. And there's something opening up at this Leo full moon that is connecting to the people, those who are governed. Pluto is the government. Aquarius are the people who are governed. Something's opening up, and Saturn is going to be in this spot, February 2023. A seriousness lands, something affects the people in a big way. There's more to come here. So we are currently in a very big story. As we know, that story is going to continue to unfold. There are big pivotal energies coming in, and this is a Leo full moon asking you, where are you going? Are you listening to your heart and to your needs and what's within you? Because that is pivotal to travel with this part of yourself, to not have all your energy out in the collective or in your job or in other realms or in places outside of you, but to bring it back into what you need, what your heart is saying, and that there could be energies here that you're ready to trust in yourself for the first time, and it could be very uncomfortable. I mean, there could be this internal struggle, and there could be a sense of yes or no, should I do it, should I not? And there's all this even Scorpio intensity and complication. Even Aquarius makes things complicated, mentally complicated. And here we have a North Node in Taurus saying it's a lot simpler, it's a lot easier. You don't need all this strife or the angst. if you would step into this flow of evolution, that the world is changing in a very big way because each of us is changing in a very big way. And we are the ones shifting the energy fields on the planet. We're shifting them into higher consciousness, removing what is outdated, stepping away from what is no longer true, and truly building more of these new earth energies together. So just know that your needs are a part of this, and it directly impacts where you're going. But there's going to be pressure here. There's just the pressure to evolve. And if we understand that, we can step into more of what we need. And I feel like this is the soul growth experience here, where Pluto is telling us that it's time. It's time to move forward, to take these new chances, to go in a new direction, because it's by going in those new directions that we're further co-creating the new earth, and we're bringing our light with us and our hearts, and the feminine, masculine energies in balance are coming in as well. So discomfort, tension, maybe a sense of, I'm not ready, I don't know if I can do this. And the universe is like, well, it's time, ready or not. And, even if you quote unquote miss something, that window of opportunity or something else transpires, it'll come back around. But what I'm feeling is that sometimes when things come back around, the energy has shifted so much that it's then more complicated. Have you ever looked back on hindsight and been like, if I had just done the thing earlier, it would have been simpler? That's a message here. It's simpler if you can trust yourself now, even if you're feeling the resistance. But this is a bigger energy moving us forward, all planets direct, and we're moving towards something that we don't know yet, but that can be exciting. So I know there's a lot in this video. It's an intense Leo full moon. It's very dynamic. It has shifts and changes and things happening that we didn't think we were ready for. And yet it feels like this is the soul energy beckoning us forward, because where we're going to land is going to feel peaceful. That is also a Taurus word. So this North Node, I feel, is very prominent. Even though we're talking about a Leo full moon, the energy is moving here. It's moving here. So know that it's time to take some steps forward, to get out of your head, trust your body, trust your heart, trust your intuition, and also trust spirit, God, source, the universe, because this is a game changer. There's a lot in February that's game changer energy. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. I know this was a lot, but I feel like there's just a lot of energy in February in general, which we'll keep talking about in my podcasts every Wednesday and Monday. And also you can check out all the energy of February in my monthly Soul Growth Astrology program, where we cover all the transits of the month. And it's designed for you to look at your natal chart, to follow along, look at what's happening in your chart and how the energies are showing up for you. And you can get that with coupon code Aquarius. So please check that out, because I know that is a very helpful program for many, many people every month. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back here very soon for another video. In the meantime, thank you for your shares, your likes, subscribes. Thank you for sharing this with others who could also benefit from knowing this cosmic weather and to have insights about what's to come. Thank you so much. I'll see you back here soon.